This is a residential home in one of Johannesburg's upmarket northern suburbs. All the women in this room come from Thailand. Thai sex workers are highly sought after by their South African clients. But what the customers don't know is that most of these women have been smuggled, kidnapped and enslaved by money-grabbing sex masters. Tonight, we expose such trafficking rings, and we tell the story of the women's exploitation and agony.
Your attention please. An important announcement from the Airports Company South Africa. Please take care of your personal belongings and do not leave any of your...
This is where hell begins for a Thai traffic victim in South Africa. Every year, more than 1,000 Thai women are lured here with promises of greener pastures. Provincial Commander of Border Police, Frans Kloppers, says intercontinental syndicates perpetrate this crime.
These people are faceless. Even the lady or the person that's been trafficked will never ever know these people or will ever see him, because they are making use of agents to come and do their dirty work for them.
For the first time, South Africa is taking drastic steps to curb human trafficking. Superintendent Kloppers has now been appointed operational head of a provincial task team to root out trafficking in Gauteng.
Trafficking is said to earn organized crime over $7 billion a year. Between 7 and 12 billion, those are the estimates. Now that's a significant amount of money that will be channeled into other organized criminal activities that further undermine the state.
The whole process of being trafficked starts with the agent who gets the person on the other side, in the country of origin. It starts with him. He makes possibly the false representation to the person.
Many women are lured by friends. They're lured by people they know, people that they trust.
There's somebody involved that perhaps organizes false documentation. Then there's transport. Then there's a reception committee on this side. Then there's the placing of this person. And then there's the eventual exploitation of this person.
They're often required to submit a certain or earn a certain amount of money every day, which must be returned. Everything is done to keep them confined. They don't have access to resources, which could obviously buy them freedom of some kind.
It's for such victims that the task team is meant to make a difference. For now, South Africa has no legislation outlawing trafficking, despite international conventions compelling all states to stem the practice. The police and Home Affairs can only begin to act once a holiday visa has expired and a woman is found working, more often than not as a prostitute.
Let me tell you that that's one of the biggest frustrations for us, especially from Border Police, that we cannot really do anything to stop these people from getting into South Africa. You get that gut feeling, but this person is being trafficked into South Africa, but you cannot do anything.
Special Assignment decided to do something to expose how these faceless syndicates buy and sell women, how they get away with it. We hired the services of underworld information broker Alex Stelianos. We set up Stelianos and SABC cameraman Dudley Saunders with a concealed camera. Their first assignment, to check out rumors of a brothel employing Thai women in the district of Ladysmith, KwaZulu-Natal. The brothel we'd heard about had been upsetting locals in the Ladysmith farming community for about 2 years, and police seemed unable to act. Our team arrived in Ladysmith at about lunchtime.
We stopped at some little shopping center to buy something to drink, and we said we wanted a place to overnight with some entertainment. And that's what we said, and they quickly referred to the stables as that's the place we're looking for entertainment. There's some Thai ladies, we can overnight there.
An isolated farmhouse in the middle of nowhere on open farmland. Hard to imagine that this place would lead us right into the heart of a human trafficking syndicate.
Hello. We want cold beer, please. Oh, hello.
How are you? Why you come here?
The owner of stables is a middle-aged Afrikaans man, Pieter Delpoort. He's lived in Ladysmith for more than 14 years. His wife is Tipawan Chaitet. Her South African name is Nina. She's been in South Africa for 4 years, most of it illegally. She married Delpoort last year and now has permanent residence. Our team visits the establishment twice in the course of our investigation. The second time, there are 3 Thai women, among them one who's just come into the country. Our team poses as holiday makers. The owner's son, Jacques, shows them around the guest house. They use the opportunity to ask about the new girl and the going rate for sex.
She got here last night, yesterday morning. Through the night, she got to Joburg at the airport.
But how come she speaks English?
She's learned English in Thailand.
Okay. Now she's on contract to Nina.
Yeah.
And can we, important question, can I book her for the evening or take her for the evening or?
For the all night.
Yeah?
For all night.
But you almost is $600 a night.
That's fucking cheap, man.
Listen.
The guys over here, the fucking cheapest they pay is $1,000. I fucking oath you.
Mr. and Mrs. Delport preparing for bed. It's late, but we push our luck, hoping to hear it from the horse's mouth.
I admit it, the price, $600 a night.
What a pleasure. They work for $300 an hour, alright? And then if you want to sleep there, then you gotta pay extra for the room.
And this new girl? Oh, but she just flew in.
See again?
She just flew in.
She just came, you know?
Fresh.
I was actually charged extra for
Is she fresh?
She's fresh.
They pay the Thai girls tickets from Thailand to here. They pick them up themselves at the airport, Johannesburg International Airport. And according to Nina, it cost them about 12,000 Rand per girl to bring them here. Now this girl has to repay her 60,000 Rand.
Every Thai woman has a contract like this with her trafficker. She's forced to repay anything between 60 and 100,000 Rand. Until she's paid the last cent, she won't see her passport or return air ticket. At stables, the women pay off 60,000 Rand contracts to Peter and Nina. They must also pay weekly rent. Nina holds their passports and plane tickets in her handbag. We soon discover that stables is only the starting point for these women.
Come last week.
Stables is definitely not an isolated little brothel in the middle of nowhere. Very well connected to the St. Lucia area and Durban itself. Durban is called Cat's Ladies. As a matter of fact, when we left Ladysmith, we went to Durban. And the following evening, we paid a visit to Cat's Ladies, and yes, we were welcomed by about 6 Thai ladies.
We want to drink and we want to relax and we want to massage and we want everything. Why are you walking?
The owner of Cat's Ladies and the owner of Ladysmith is business associates of some sort, and that is how they exchange girls all the time. They would work a portion of their time in Ladysmith and from there move on to the big lights.
Most of the women at Cat Ladies in downtown Durban are on contract.
No, I'm not coming to this place. Sorry, you're a Hells Angel?
The owner's name is Andre. He's the president of the Durban chapter of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang.
Okay, yeah, but the international.
Cat Ladies manageress, Flame, has just taken money from a client for booking a Thai girl called Gita. Gita's already repaid her contract.
1 hour. Shut your messenger.
Gita's now trapped in sex work. She does what she knows to earn a living now that her bondage has ended. Because of women like her, business is booming at Cat Ladies, and they keep a tight rein on her. They can do that because her status here is illegal.
I don't think we have any need to search the page.
While we're in Durban, a provincial police task team prepares to raid Cat Ladies. They've investigated the place for months and now know they'll find Thai women on the job every night of the week.
We are definitely going to arrest them if they are there. So we can use the Home Affairs Act to verify their status.
32(1), 8 to 10, and then
Have you got any aliens at the club at the moment? No. Nobody whatsoever? No. Girls you've got here are all South African?
All South African.
The officers are devastated. Their operation seems to have been compromised.
There's nothing in here except
We want to have a
the
look
fridge and stuff.
It's clear the club knew they were coming. The operation had been planned and executed in one afternoon by one small task team. The only conclusion is that the leak comes from within the police. All the girls we'd previously seen and filmed are gone. We decide to go back later to find out what went wrong. This time, neither Andre nor Flame are at their post. One of the sex workers leads us to an internet cafe across the road. The owner is Andre's business partner, David McCarthy.
2 weeks ago or so, and I wanted to interview one of the owners, you, Andre, about that raid and about the Thai girls.
Andre received a warning from one of his informants that he should not carry on operating with the Thai girls, that the police and Home Affairs would come back and probably close this place down.
We asked David who their supplier of Thai women is, how the chain works. Trying to find out if cat ladies is perhaps the mainspring of the syndicate.
There's an initial payment between whatever syndicate controls them in Durban or the KwaZulu-Natal area and the syndicate in Gauteng, perhaps. I think that's where everything does start, is there in Gauteng.
David confirms that Piet Delport from Ladysmith is Andre's former brother-in-law. In fact, Andre keeps the profits made by the Thai women here. Piet and Nina come to fetch it every 2 weeks or so. So it's back to Ladysmith. We're starting to believe that it's Piet and Nina themselves who bring the women to South Africa. In daylight, we see that Stables is right across the road from the local Elandslaagte police station. So close that Inspector Henny Nienaber has been keeping track of every movement right from the police station's front lawn.
In terms of the Aliens Control Act, any person who aids or help a person to stay in the country illegally and provides him with either accommodation or some kind of work, and in this case probably prostitution, the owner of the establishment can be charged, and the fines are quite hefty.
The allegations are mounting that the Delports run a trafficking ring. All they admit to is running a gentleman's club where girls are booked for massages and the women are only asked to pay weekly rent. The Delports are unfazed about the fact that they operate a brothel without a liquor license with trafficked women a stone's throw away from the police station.
I've had well, I won't say most of my clients, but a big percentage. I'd say lawyers, doctors, bookkeepers, like you name it. I've had them all. I've had them all, yeah.
And the police also sometimes.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, and police, yeah.
I mean, what is your take? What is your assessment of this focus on the issue of trafficking? How do you comment on that? Do you see yourself as part of that chain?
I'd say yeah. I get, you know, I've had Thai ladies here before, and sometimes I get more Thai ladies coming here. Obviously, I'm not part of it.
The Delports claim the girls are happy at Stables, that they work willingly and the money they earn is theirs. But we were about to discover a whole other side to their operation. As we left Stables, we found a scribbled note stuck to the car window. If you want the real story, it said, phone me. So we did, and soon met up with Bevel Carey, a regular at the bar at Stables. He befriended one of the sex workers, and together they now have a baby.
I saw you come into the yard, and I was curious, what were you doing there? So I decided to take a walk to the kitchen and eavesdrop on the conversation. And I heard the questions you were asking him, and I heard the answers he was giving you. And I saw that everything he said to you in that interview was a lie.
During one of his visits to Piet almost a year and a half ago, Bevel saw Sarah sitting by herself, looking miserable. He greeted her, and she smiled. Piet told Bevel it was the first time she'd smiled in the month she'd been there. Bevel decided to book her, but instead of having a massage or sex, he used the time to find out what was the matter.
Me see him good heart. Okay, him come. Me tell him everything. Me no one work now. Me tired. Me no one fuck. Me come here. Me want massage. Me no one come fuck. That him okay. Him pity me, but him can't help me too much, you know.
So we sat down and we thought, okay, the best thing to do here would be, let's make you pregnant. Come on, if we get a baby, then definitely Piet's got a heart, Nina's got a heart, and they'll release you from the contract. Oh, that's the biggest mistake we made. When she got pregnant, she was under tremendous stress every day. They made her work for the 3 months. For her first 3 months of pregnancy, they made her work. And they made her cry. Cry every day. She worked and she cried every day. When I put a stop, one day I said, no more. She's not working anymore. She's not going to work anymore. I said to him, you had a say before this, but now I've got a say. She's got my baby there. She's not working anymore. So he said, okay, I'll stop her from working until she gets a baby, but then she's going to pay me back my money that she owes me. Thought of a lot of ways of trying to get out, but the only way that I know that is to go to the police. But I mean, I frequented there for a long time, so I know what goes on there. You know, policemen come there in uniform, magistrates come there, prosecutors come there from Ladysmith and all surrounding areas. So I didn't know where, you know, I didn't know who to turn to, who can I turn to, because he knows everything before it happens.
More than a year ago, Sarah was lured from her job as a professional masseur in Thailand. She was promised a good income at a grand hotel in Johannesburg. She had never been a sex worker. Unknown people in Thailand recruited her and bought her a plane ticket. She arrived at Johannesburg International Airport, declaring herself a tourist. A Thai woman met her at the airport and took her to a house in Johannesburg. That same day, Piet and Nina Delport arrived from Ladysmith. Sarah was told to undress, and Nina inspected her. Then Sarah saw money change hands.
Piet pays 15,000 rand for them. That's according to him. Okay, they all vary according to beauty, according to size, according to whatever. The prices vary. For Sarah, he paid 15,000 rand.
She tell me, must work, must put, have condom, have towel. You must fuck. No massage customer, no. One massage customer, one fuck, you must fuck.
Piet kept on abusing her, physically abusing her, mentally abusing her, calling her a bitch, telling her that she was born to bitch. This is what she was born to do. Thai women are born to bitch. That's what they're born to do. So she must bitch and make money for him, pay him back his money.
We can't say nothing. Me work 1 week. Me no one take. And she talk shit every time. You know, sometimes customer bad. Me no one. She go call she husband come talk shit me.
Meanwhile, our undercover team is infiltrating a house in Johannesburg. They found Thai women who claim to be working on contract. The women are already lined up for business.
Can I have something to drink first?
The lingerie parade continues for a while. All the women seem eager to be booked. Then the lady of the house arrives. Her name is Posombun Prapatsorn.
It's okay.
Last time you see 3 ladies, now everybody.
The other women call her Tuk.
I know. I want to show you. Everybody very nice.
Everybody very nice.
After a while, Tuk directs one of the women to go with a client. The woman takes 350 rand from the client for an hour session. She leaves the cash on the coffee table. Another customer pays Tuk directly. He's our informer's friend. He agrees to let us film a conversation in the room. Tanya explains that she is currently working off her second 100,000 rand contract in South Africa. Her family's farm in Thailand has been pawned to the syndicate that controls her. If she doesn't make the money to repay them, her family will lose their land. Tanya says the lady of this house, Tuk Burger, does not allow girls on contract here because it causes so many problems. She only provides the space so women can work for themselves. But because it's a better environment to work in than most, Tanya lied to Tuk about not having a contract. There's therefore no evidence confirming that Tuk is a trafficker, but it's clear she aids and abets these illegal immigrants. Tanya says Tuk even helped her buy an extended permit at the airport.
I must make money back for me 100,000 baht. because I pay already. And I come. She buys, she gave for me nine months.
This raid is one of the first actions by the new Gauteng task team on the trafficking of women and children. Superintendent Frans Kloppers in the lead.
Got a search warrant for your house? Was issued by the Randburg Magistrate Court to me.
But pre-raid intelligence lets the task team down. A security camera trained on the entrance has given the game away. Of the original number, only 2 girls are found with Tuk. One of them is Tanya, the woman who's working off 100,000 rand debt bondage in this house. Then news comes that the rest of the girls are crouching in the dark at the bottom of the garden.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Whose idea is this? Yours, Mrs. Berger. Where's your husband? Is he overseas? When is he coming back? Okay.
The task team nets some spent condoms, a number of expired plane tickets and invalid holiday permits. Tuk and her husband Andy Burger have not responded to special assignments requests for interviews.
Now she's at the place that's a brothel. And she's busy practicing prostitution, so she's illegal in the country. She's working in the country, so she will be removed.
That is the basics here.
Who of you can understand English?
We'd previously filmed these women confidently strutting their stuff and eagerly sharing their problems in the hope of snagging a rich customer as a husband. Now they can't or won't say a word.
That can speak English a bit.
It's clear from the raid that the police are still ill-equipped to deal with the problems of trafficking. There's the lack of legislation and problems with communication.
That you knew why you came to South Africa?
Knew.
That you're coming to work?
Yeah.
So why did you lie to the people at immigration when you came and say you're coming on holiday?
Yeah.
And you worked here? Huh?
I don't understand.
We're in the early stages of learning how to do this. You don't go from not knowing how to conduct these kinds of operations to doing it perfectly every time. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. You're going to learn strategies that will elicit the kind of information you're looking for. It's also a matter of beginning to think about what kinds of information will be useful, not just in a particular case, but things that will be useful generally to fill in an overall picture of what's happening.
The women have now been awaiting deportation for 2 weeks at Lindela. Tanya phoned us after the first week to say that 10,000 rand could bribe her out of the repatriation camp, so could we help? For now, the chance to interview the women thoroughly is lost. We may never know who controls them, how the controlling syndicates are connected to the Bryanston house.
I think we're in a bit of a tough spot right now, because while law enforcement is increasingly aware of this problem and is kind of galvanizing its forces to do something about this, we don't have enough of the safety measures in place to secure the victim herself. Now this presents a problem because we don't have those kinds of lures to encourage the victim to escape and maybe to help law enforcement to prosecute.
If it hadn't been for Bevel Carey's bold efforts, Sarah would still be forced to have sex with men in Ladysmith. She would still be paying off some undefined amount that she never agreed to that would keep growing every day. The couple has gone into hiding. Sarah's passport and air ticket are either still in Nina's handbag or in Piet's safe in Ladysmith. They fled with the clothes on their back and a small bag of baby clothes.
She can't trust anybody in this country. Nobody. She's got no trust for anybody. I had to beg her to trust you. You know, I'm going to do whatever is in my power to stop him and whoever from doing what they're doing to this woman. Pete, hey, I'm just going through a little bit of stress of my own here, man.
Why?
Hey, with this whole story with Sarah and all that there. Hey, Pete, I don't think she can work anymore.
Baby, I need my money.
Yeah, but I don't think she can work anymore, Pete, because this is putting us under a lot of pressure. She's paid you back so much of that money. I've paid you all that I can ever pay you. I don't have any more money to pay you, and I just can't handle doing it anymore. I mean,
No. But listen to you for a long time. If you handle this, then you can't handle that. I'm sorry. This is love. Sorry. From our side, I want my money or I call shit. That's it. Finish.
okay, now when Pete, hold on. When you say you call shit, what do you mean you call shit?
I'll have it picked up.
You'll have Sarah picked up.
No, we'll find out when she's picked up.
But
That's not a threat. That's a promise.
it's a promise.
Yeah, because she hasn't got a visa. All right? How long? I told you already I would buy one.
She can't jump into a car and go anywhere because she hasn't got a passport. She hasn't got a visa. She's illegally here now.
Yeah,
So
she's illegally here.
yeah, so she's scared, Pete. I mean, come on, Pete. I'm sure Pete. I know you've got a heart. I know you've got a heart.
Rebel, but I've got a heart as far as what I should have heart. Okay, but this is business. There's been an agreement, all right? I'm sorry. I expect you to keep by the agreement. I want my money.
At first, when I first met her, it didn't worry me much, you know. The only thing that worried me was the fact that she had to do what she's doing and she didn't like it. But it didn't really worry me much because the feelings weren't there. But now that I've grown these feelings for her, because we share a child together, and every time that she's made to go with somebody, it's a pain that, you know, I can't explain to you. You wouldn't understand. Only if you're there. You'd only understand if you're there.
Sarah never has to return to stables again. Home Affairs has given her a permit to stay in the country. In exchange, she must testify against Piet and Nina Delport.
And me never go farm, me very happy. Me never see farm, me very happy. Me no one see, but me scared go. Me no one go. Me no one go. Me want live forever. Me no one see Nina and Piet forever.